Hi, I'm Lara and this is Trope Train Trilogy, and today I will be wrapping up my January/February goals along with telling you what I read in January/February, and then I will be telling you my March/April goals and my March and April TBR. So let's get right into it. I will say straight up, I didn't complete most of my January and February goals. I didn't expect to. However, I didn't do very good at all. However, for the next 2 months, I reevaluated and I do plan on trying to complete at least half. That's the goal. Ideally, it would be more, but my goal is at least half. So to wrap up my January, February goals, I completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of 31. So that's not very good. However, I will say 15 of these goals were books to read, which was completely unrealistic, and I knew that. They were just books I was hoping that I could maybe finish before Valentine's Day. Now, the only book I actually finished on this list was the only one that I didn't want to read specifically for Valentine's Day. I'm glad I finished it because clearly I read it first. There was a reason for that. But I failed the reading goal. However, if I ignore that, I actually finished 10 out of 16, which is over half if I don't include books read. So I'm going to go through all of the goals that I had, excluding specific books I intended to read. There were 15, I only read one, but since I never revealed them in the initial video, I don't see the point in listing a bunch of books now that, I just hadn't read them. So the first one was to finish beta reading the book I had been beta reading, which I did. In fact, in these 2 months, I actually read 2 different books to completion, which was a great experience. I don't plan on beta reading for a long time again. I might critique like people I know, but I'm going to take a break from that. Then the second goal was to finish writing Goodreads reviews for 2020 books. I don't remember how many I had to write. It was like 4 or 5, and I finished them all, which was great. Then was to finish decorating my bedroom with photos, which I will show you all the things that were decorating wise after this clip. And then number 4 was to read A Sky Beyond the Storm, which was a book one that I said I wasn't going to go over now, but I will mention this one because I actually did read it. Then number 18, skipping a bunch of reading ones, was to do my 2020 reading wrap up, and I did that, linked below. 19 was 2021 goals video, which I also did, which this is the second half to answering that one, and I really like having 2-month segments to do things, so I'm gonna keep doing that. Then number 20 was a January/February TBR. However, since I didn't have my laptop for the beginning of January, by the time I got it and had time to film, I didn't find it to be necessary to do a TBR, especially because it was kind of too late. I knew I wasn't going to read most of them, and a lot of the books I just wanted to read before Valentine's Day, which I failed at. And if I did that video, it would have been like right before Valentine's Day. So again, not much of a point. Number 21 was to get back into filming book reviews, which I did. I have one posted already. And then number 22 was film writing with tropes, which I haven't filmed it yet. I wrote the script and I'm ready to. So I will be getting to that this month. Number 23 was film top romances, 24 film worst romances, 25 film favorite romance movie, and I failed all 3 of these. These are all Valentine's Day idea videos, which I will hopefully do in the future. Failed this year. Number 26 was a reading goal, so skipping that one. Number 27 was make goal posters for my room, which I did, and they were the ones actually I showed in the initial video and I will be showing them again in my little goal poster and calendar shrine area. Number 28 was to make motivational posters, which I did, and I also made posters with poems that I find inspirational or beautiful on my wall, because my wall's a bit plain. They're still not super covered, but it's better now. And they were free, was the main reason why I wanted to make stuff. Then number 29 was to make an outline poster, which is just an outline I can hang on my wall, which I did, and I actually changed my method. Instead of doing every single scene like I had been trying to do before, I just wrote the main plot points, which I think helped me understand my story structure better than trying to clump every moment into it. Just the basic building blocks for what's on my wall. I do have chapters on my computer, but I feel like it's just overwhelming to make all of that for my wall. And then number 30 was to do license stuff, and 31 was to do card tag stuff. I completed them both. should have been done way quicker. I spent 3 hours at the DMV at one day to not get it done and had to come back next week to get it done because the government's incompetent. Yay. So for what I added to my room to decorate it, I first made my favorite poem into a poster. It's not that high quality, but that's okay. And then it's not super decorated. I put some quotes on the wall, put a bunch of photos of me, my friends, and family, put 2 more poems on the wall, and then made an outline right there for my story. And I realized for me, to make my outline work, I actually just needed to put the main plot points there instead of trying to put every single chapter and scene, which was a bit excessive. I feel like I understand my story structure a lot better with a more minimalistic outline. So we'll see if I can actually pull it off. And then going past my books and my mirror and my filming setup, here is my 2021 goals again. And so here's the calendar for March. So this is what it looks like. And then this is what, nope. And then this is what April looks like for this calendar. So very cute, pretty. I really like the bee. And then this is a pretty landscape. Then this is my March and April goal poster, which is just right here. And I'm going to go into details after this. So yeah, those were all my goals complete. And now I want to get into my quick reading wrap up. So to tell you the books I read in order, first I read was A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir, which I gave 5 stars. It's the wrap up to An Ember in the Ashes Quartet, which I have reviews for the first book, the second book, and the third book all on here, so I will be linking them down below. And I have a review for this book on Goodreads, which I'll link down below. But yes, I very much enjoyed this book. It's not a perfect book, but I thought it was a good wrap up to this series. It's a bit of a darker YA fantasy. Not like it's like, oh, everyone's evil. Like, the main characters are all pretty good. However, the world's darker and more brutal, and the author isn't afraid to kill people, which I appreciated. This book definitely made me a bit sad for one of the characters. And I was like, oh, great, of course. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to spoil why I was a bit sad for the character. Just go there. So then after that, I only listened to audiobooks. I did read some on paper, but I was unable to complete a book because I didn't have much time to physically look at books and read them. I finished that one, didn't have time to finish one after that. So the 3 books I listened to, I all got for free on the Overdrive, and now I use the Libby app. And those books were first Cinder by Marissa Meyer. It's been highly recommended to me by multiple people. I saw it online, but also people I know personally. I didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. I'm not a fan. The book started off really cool to me, kind of like a sci-fi in a gritty, almost dystopian world, but with fairytale elements, which is cool. But then it kind of just devolved into a mediocre romance and more fantasy level politics, which I wasn't interested in. And it felt like there's so much with the prince compared to Cinder, and I found Cinder more interesting at the beginning until I realized her only character trait was being a cyborg. So I'm going to stop ranting now, but I have a whole rant for the book I'll say later. And then the next book I read after that was one of the ones I beta read for, which normally wouldn't count for a book completed. It normally wouldn't count for my goal of reading 25 books in a year. However, they said on the thing that I could review it on Goodreads. I'm not reviewing it yet because that seems kind of weird. I don't know how much they're going to change it. But I did read it and mark it as finished on my Goodreads shelf, and that was Guns and Smoke by Lauren Severe and Abby Smith. So I beta read that. However, I don't want to go into details about what I thought of it because even though they said I could review it, I just think that's kind of weird, and I'm not sure if I feel comfortable doing it right now. And then finally, the 4th book I read within these 2 months was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. So this book I really heard nothing about. I just knew it was super popular online, and I was like, I'll give it a chance. The premise actually sounded pretty interesting to me, and for some reason I just assumed it was a standalone, which I was kind of in the mood more for standalone since I was starting a new series, which I think I was right about. It definitely feels like a standalone. So I listened to that, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. It's not a perfect book, but the writing in it was so beautiful, and even though I listened to it, I kind of want to get a physical copy to read it visually so I can better learn about the more poetic, beautiful writing style, because I want to study writing style a bit more because I'm not super confident in how I write, like the prose level writing. And I also want to see more experimental writing too. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. The beginning of the book was great. The middle definitely sagged for me though, but I really liked the ending too. So yeah, overall I really liked that book, and I will say the writing style like made it for me. If it wasn't written so beautifully, I doubt I would have rated it so high. But yeah, those were the 4 books I read these months, so that means I'm on track to complete 25 books within the year, at least according to Goodreads, which is awesome. So yeah, now let's get into my March/April goals. So first are my reading goals, which I have listed here. And so the first one I have is actually an ARC I received. However, I'm not sure if I can name it, so I will not right now. It's part of a book that's coming out, and I'll be part of the street team promotion YouTube thing, so hopefully I like it, because it would be kind of awkward for my promotional video to be a negative review. We'll see. Then the second one I got is actually another free art copy I got for a book already published. So they just gave it to me because I actually requested another book from the same publisher that they will be coming out with this year, and they were just like, hey, we'll give you a second book too. So again, I'm not going to say what it is right now, but I got 2 digital ARCs to read. I will actually be getting a physical copy of the first one, but for the second one, I only have a digital copy, which fine either way, it's a free book. Then number 3, the third book I want to read is The Wolf and the Hawk by Jolene Graysock, which I actually already started while reading it at work. I was just unable to complete it. However, I'm kind of sad because it got a bit damaged on the bottom from being in my backpack at work, and I think it got rained on, was why it's so damaged. But either way, the book is beautiful. It's a fantasy romance by Jolene Graysock, and it is about a woman, Ryoni, who is the war leader of her nomadic clan, who ends up leaving her clan in an arranged marriage to the king of a small farming kingdom known as Gen, in order to help them prepare for a war. But he's kind of like, no, I need to do this on my own, so he doesn't really want her there. And so it's about her rising up to help the people, but also trying to win him over. And it's a nice romance from what I read so far. I actually beta read this book before, and I really liked it. So yeah, I'll like it again. I just need to read a physical book now. Then the next book I want to read is 1984 by George Orwell, because I specifically want to compare this to a book that I finished at the end of 2020, which is We by Yevgeny Zamyatin, which is the first dystopian book ever written, which I'm 100% sure 1984 took inspiration from. So I want to do a video about that, so I want to read this while the other book is still relatively fresh in my mind. And then my last reading goal is to read a Greco-Roman book, because I have a whole collection of them and I want to finish one. I have a whole shelf of them, so I'll insert a clip of that right here, but I'm not going to move my phone or just pick up a random one to show you, when really it could be any of them. And then my last 2 goals under reading, which aren't actually reading goals but Goodreads reviewing goals, and that is to write my Cinder Goodreads review, so you can all check it out, and if I finish it I'll link it here, and then to write my Invisible Life of Addie LaRue Goodreads review, which again I'll link below if I finish it. Then I have mostly video goals. Is to film my trope talk for the Guile Hero video, which now, yes, I have a specific trope talk I'm gonna do. I have the script written, I just need to film it, edit it, and have it ready. I'm pretty sure I'll post it before the end of the month, but none of these videos I'm promising being posted now, because I'm gonna film a lot, ideally, and I'm not just gonna put them out if I think one is more suited to come out sooner. So scheduling will depend on that, but I want to have it completed and ready at the very least. And number 9 is a second part to the tension video I did before, which I'll link below, and it's exploring my concept of lose the battle, win the war in fiction. Then number 10 is my March/April video, which is this right here. So I'll be able to check that off soon. Number 11 is to do a top 10 Skillshare writing videos, and I just wrote 210 instead of top. So I clearly was paying attention. Just add a P and it's good now. But yeah, so I got 2 months free of Skillshare, which means I want to do as much research as possible and have a bunch of videos based on it to review it for you guys. So if you have any requests, I'm going to do look up ones about writing. If you want any about short stories, creative writing, nonfiction, which is just like essays, anything that you want about it, video making, any of the tips, I could discuss the top ones and make a list for you guys. So let me know what you're interested in. I also want to review the author tubers who made Skillshare classes, which there are 3. So number 12 goal is to review Jenna Moressi's Skillshare classes. Number 13 is to review Hannah Lee Kidder's Skillshare classes. And number 14 is to review Erin Kinsella's Skillshare class. So yeah, look out for those. Number 15 is to film my Nexus review, which actually I already completed. So I will take my purple color pencil because I'm marking which month I completed in based on the title, and I will just mark that off because it's just film, not necessarily to edit and post. But now that I did that part, this part will be easier. And then number 16 is to film the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue video, because part of the reason I read it was because it was so popular a while ago. So I want to do it sooner rather than later because I'll probably get more views the sooner I do it. And then number 17, 18, 19, 20, which I have like the numbers all bunched together, is to have a backlog of 4 videos by the end of the month. So that one I really won't know until this is up, but I want to have that many videos backlogged, preferably more. But then for my writing goals, these goals are a bit more open-ended, except for one of them. So number 21 is to write a short story. However, I just need to complete one, but if I write more than one, I will add a box and check it off for each one I write, which could end up meaning if I wrote like a bunch of them, it could counteract the numbers because I won't be adding a number for it. So that could actually make it easier if I'm really inspired for that. Because, you know, writing's my main thing. So if it helps me with this, I'm not going to complain. Then number 22 is to edit my short story How This Ends, because I've been wanting to edit my short stories from college for a while and I haven't done it, so I'm gonna do it now, and that's what I want to start with because my other one I have tons of notes for at home, so I hope to bring them back over Easter. Then number 23 is to write more of my novel, and this one I get a point for each chapter. So again, like the short stories, I'll add a box for each chapter I complete and add more and more on. And then finally, our miscellaneous goals, where I don't have a bunch within a category, so they're all together. Number 24 was to clean my bathroom, which I already did first day of the weekend. So got that. Next is to clean my bedroom, which I tidied it a bit to show the posters, but my bedroom's not clean yet, so can't check that off. Number 26 is to finish adding notes for a January Bible study thing. So I have it. I know it's March. I haven't filled it out yet, so I want to do it within these 2 months. And then the next one, which is 27, would be to do the February one. So I'm only be 2 months behind. I have the March one. That one's not on here right now, though. I probably will add the March and April ones on if I'm able to catch up, because ideally I'd want 100% catch up. But I didn't put that on yet because I didn't think to put it on, so now I'm just leaving it like this. And then number 28 is to learn the alphabet in the language I am interested in learning, because baby steps, I suck at languages, so that's a little start. And then number 29 is work-related stuff that I will get a point for each one that I do, but I will not be going into detail. So those are all my goals and TBR and my wrap-up. So please let me know how you've been doing this past year. What segments do you do your goals in? Do you do them daily, weekly, monthly? I do bi-monthly, I guess. I don't know why I started that. I originally just did it because February is Valentine's Day and I wanted to do stuff for Valentine's Day, so I wanted to have all of January to prep, but I just failed miserably. But now I have 2 months of Skillshare, so again, it makes sense to do it within a 2-month time frame. So that's the thing I'm doing right now, and I might be sticking to it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed hearing what I am interested in currently. Got my stack of just random stuff to make it look more like a thumbnail worthy picture. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know all your thoughts down below. How has your reading been going? Are you on track for your reading goal? I know I completely failed in January and February, but I don't really care. I'm just hoping to do better now. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you later.